We are back with another 4 juicy NBA player props to choose from with the support of the analytical model. And if that sounds interesting, let's jump into it. Sub to the channel because your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me. What's up, everyone? I hope your sports books have been treating you well, and your wives, your girlfriend, or even your boyfriend, even better. Before I get into today's content, I just wanted to give a shout out to Jordan from the final round. He's proactively shared my channel around in his videos to help me grow, and I can't be thankful enough to him and all those who have subscribed to me recently. A wise man once told me that you are the company you keep. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, inspire you, and support you. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's supporting this road to 1,000 subscribers. Now, in my last video, I shared the findings after running my model to find out what factors drive player performance to overachieve their player props. This update on the model's insights won't take long, I promise, and then we'll get straight into those 4 player picks. If you can't wait, feel free to jump ahead. I've run the model again on the most recent games played today, but I've amended the algorithm slightly. So previously, when we looked at the matchup, I was targeting players who had an easy matchup for their position, which resulted in only 33% of the players who overachieved their lines meeting the criteria. I personally believe the matchup is a more important factor, so I've tweaked the model to show players whose matchup ranked in the top 50% of their position and prop. Basically, meaning these players didn't have a bad matchup. This changed the results significantly. Here's what today's data revealed. The players who have seen an increase in their playing time over their last 5 games scored at 83% today and is still the most significant factor. The players who didn't have a bad matchup increased to 54% of the players who saw a significant uplift in their performance. The recent performances against the same team applied to only 33% of the players who overachieved today. So if you're looking at a player and he didn't perform well against that team last time, don't sweat it. So if you want to talk more about the model and what changes or additions I could make, just let me know in the comment section. Now let's get straight into these 4 picks. Starting with my man from Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. We're taking him for over 27.5 points. He's averaging 38.4 minutes per game over his last 5, which is 2 minutes higher than his season average. He also plays close to 40 minutes against the Grizzlies. Both of these teams played at a very high pace, so it should be a free-flowing game with heaps of scoring opportunities. In the 2 games where he's versed the Grizzlies, he scored 28 plus points in both of them. One game was with Karl Anthony Towns, and one game was without him. His shot attempts are interesting though. In those 2 games, he only shot the ball 16 and 18 times. Recently, we've seen his shot attempts increase to 21 over his last 10 games. Did you know that Anthony Edwards has attempted 20 plus shots in 9 games since December 30, 2022, and he scored 28 points or more in every single one of them. His usage rate has also increased every single month this season. It was up at 26% in November, it went up slightly in December, and it's now up to 32% in January. In terms of matchup, because I still think it's very important, he doesn't have a bad one. The Grizzlies rank in the bottom 12 for points allowed to shooting guards this season, so take Anthony Edwards to the bank. Our next pick, we're looking at Jaren Jackson Jr. over 15.5 points. He's playing 28 minutes per game over his last 5, which is 2 minutes above his season average. Steven Adams is out for this game, but his minutes are the same with or without Steven Adams. Both teams played at a very high pace, so like I said earlier, very free-flowing game. He's averaging 14.2 points per game in his last 5, but he has covered this line in his last 2 games. Earlier this season against Minnesota, he scored 16 points. I did mention earlier that Steven Adams is out, and that won't impact his minutes, although it does impact his ability to score. Did you know that over his last 5 games without Steven Adams, he's covered this line 4 times, recording 22, 15, 19, 19, and 16 points. He's got a great matchup today, as the Wolves are allowing the 2nd most points to power forwards this season across the league. Our 3rd pick is a lean right now, and hopefully that explains why. We're taking Evan Mobley over 17.5 points if Donovan Mitchell is out. On a recent video, I took Evan Mobley unders. I think that was against New York, purely because Donovan Mitchell was back in the lineup. And when Donovan Mitchell is back in the lineup, Mobley's numbers dip heavily. So Mobley's minutes are trending upwards, whilst Jared Allen's are trending down. He's at 37 minutes per game over his last 5. That's up on his 34 that he's averaging this season. He's also starting to spend more time at center. He's getting more touches on the pick and roll and in the post. He recorded 21 points against OKC back in December. But keep in mind, that was another game that he played without Donovan Mitchell. So he's averaging 21.2 points per game in his last 5. He scored 18 points or more in 3 of those games. His matchup is decent, as the OKC Thunder allow the 9th most points to power forwards and the 10th most points to centers so far this season. Regardless of which position he spends more time at, he should be able to get some more work done, if Donovan Mitchell doesn't play. If you've made it this far, hopefully you're enjoying this video. If you do, smash that like button for me. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on those noties. We're going to do everything we can to juice up this algorithm for me, so drop some comments, do whatever it takes. Our fourth and final pick, we're taking Draymond Green over 8.5 rebounds. The old fella's minutes are up on his season average, hitting close to 34 minutes per game over his last 5. The Warriors also play with the highest pace in the league, and them being at home, I expect them to control the tempo. He's averaging 9.4 rebounds per game in his last 5 games, although he's been crushing it in his last 3. So what's changed in his last 3 games? Well, the Warriors are playing small ball again, so Draymond has been playing in the center spot. Since starting at center, he's smashed this line, recording games of 13, 11, and 13 rebounds. In a previous matchup, Draymond recorded 9 rebounds against the Raptors when they matched up earlier this season. But keep in mind, both teams went for size in that game. Draymond played the 4, so Looney was at the 5. The Raptors went even bigger. They played Siakam at the 3. I think they had Hernan Gomez and Koloko, so they had 2 bigs inside. Both teams are expected to go smaller than this one. Siakam's been lining up at center frequently over the past couple of weeks. I'm loving Draymond's rebounds, especially at the center spot. So go Draymond. That's a wrap on today's video. We've got 4 picks, a nice little summary of how the model's going. If there's anything that I'm missing, let me know in the comment section, but I'll let you guys know in the next video. I appreciate y'all, and thanks for watching.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.